Hello, my name is Matt Abbott. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at CAVALLO.
And I'm Jeremy Bogart. I'm the product leader here at CAVALLO.
Today we're here to tell you how we are taking Business Central to the next level with professional-grade capabilities such as our no-code workflow builder that helps complex businesses quickly adopt Business Central. We have been successfully operating in the Dynamics ecosystem for over 18 years now, serving over 1,000 companies and over 20,000 users. Our retention and customer satisfaction rates are extremely high, and we are laser focused on delivering measurable financial value for our customers. In terms of our capabilities, we start by building upon the foundational ERP layer and, of course, drawing upon the data and processes that companies rely upon. In order to facilitate the complex and fast-moving business requirements in today's day and age, we provide really user-friendly capabilities to customer service reps, sales reps, and other users that help them execute their daily work quite efficiently. On top of that, we provide a control layer which ensures that every single order processing through a business move exactly how the company wants them to. And finally, we provide an intelligence layer that allows business leaders to make real-time decisions about their business in order to make more money every single day. Before Jeremy demonstrates the products specifically, I wanted to quickly introduce them. We launched our products for Business Central in Q4 of last year and have quickly been adopting businesses onto these two platforms. First of all, the Distribution Cloud platform provides both execution and control capabilities through the order management system and CRM modules. Our Analytics Cloud platform provides a process intelligence module that allows users to get a real-time view of every single order that is moving through the business. Jeremy?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Before we get into the actual applications, and I'll do a quick demo of all of them here, I want to talk a little bit about how it's constructed. So we get a lot of questions from partners and customers about how the applications are put together, where's the data stored, how does it work? And the main thing to understand is it's interoperable with Business Central. So every transaction, customer, order, everything like that is live data we're pulling out of Business Central. And we do that by building a Business Central extension. So we have a CAVALLO Business Central extension that adds tables, fields, it adds some things to Business Central, as well as exposing all of those APIs for us to read from directly. We also then have our own database and our own business logic for things like workflow, mission control, which you'll see here in a minute, and that's stored in our database. And our application pulls both of those data streams together, and that's what you see in front of you. But the main thing to understand is we are not using Business Central users, but we are using all of the Business Central data. So you can see and retrieve every customer live, no synchronization times, no conflicting inventory quantities or anything like that. Our Analytics Cloud application is built on an extension as well. So we pull data out of Business Central in real time, ETL, move that to our database, and that's where we start building those insights that we'll see here in a moment. So I'm going to start with our order management system. And I'm going to start here in our workflow setup screen. This is really the heart of the order management platform. This is where we get to define our process for the business. And what is, we talk about this as workflow setup, but what is workflow really? Business Central has its own concept of workflow, with things like approvals and different order of operations that have to happen. For us, it's really controlling the entire process from taking the order in, whether that's e-commerce, order entry over the phone, any real order source. We can map those here into this platform and then define our process. So I've got a simple one defined here. You can see it starts at new order, goes all the way here to create invoice. And we can define the normal path. So you can see here, new order goes to order details goes to pick package, and then from there we go to shipment and out the door. But what the workflow builder allows us to do is, without developing any code, without having to be super technical, I can start to define alternate paths based on the way that the document is. So normally something goes from order details to pick package, but you can see here I've defined some alternate paths. I've got pre-orders path, so if the order is more than a few days in the future, we're going to send it to pre-order so it doesn't get looked at and processed. I have another one here for priority picking, so I've got a specific customer, they're going to go to priority. I've got another priority picking path, which is based on the customer PO number. So you can see we can start to weave in a lot of different sorting throughout here. So we can say, based on the data that's coming in from the document, we can send it to different places. Other typical use cases are things like multiple warehouses. So I can select the best warehouse based on where I have inventory availability and route those accordingly. On top of that, we also have the ability to do actions. So here, if I go in and edit, you can see one action that I'm doing outside of order details is I'm reserving all inventory. So at the right time in the process, which here is after everything's been set and ready by the rep, then it's going to go try to reserve inventory. And later on here in the process, in shipment, I get to use that again, and I'm actually creating the shipment document at the right point based on those inventory reservations. So you can see, based on business logic in the ERP system, data for the incoming orders, we can start to move and sort these things around. And what that really allows us to do is, get a really high level of consistency for those orders. It allows us to onboard new channels extremely quickly and efficiently. And then lastly of all, what it gives us is great visibility into the process. So I've switched here to the mission control screen, which is really the visualization of all this work that we've done in the process setup. So I've got everything here that we define, new order all the way to create invoice. I can quickly see these orders, what step in the process that they're in. I get flags about it. Oh, I can see these don't have reservations. I can see farther down they're actually reserved. You can see down here I've got ones that are partially reserved. Down here in the shipments, I can see ones that are shipped. I can actually see those shipments. And as I was mentioning, everything here is super interoperable, with Business Central. So from every document here, I can actually go and view this in Business Central. So if I want to go pull this up, I can do that from here. So it gives me a great view of everything that's happening, here in the system. That's really, that's the 5-minute intro here. I want to also talk about our CRM package. I'm going to flip to that next here. And so our CRM package is really about making those sales and customer service people as efficient as possible. So again, we're doing a lot of hover states here. If I have open orders, not having to go click into the customer and get to those immediately, that really saves a lot of clicks for those CSRs. I can see the totals for the customer, the balances. From here, I can quickly navigate into those customer accounts. I can see here quick data about this customer and then a lot of the related information about them. So I can see here open documents. If people are calling in, typically I want to know about those open documents because they're going to call to figure out where they're at. Can they add line items, those sorts of things. We can quickly see here, here are the orders, here are the lines for them. Moving on here, we can also see products. We can see the sales history. What are we selling to them? What's the count of those, in aggregate? But also, individual invoices that they've gone out on, the prices on those, if I'm looking to see what I've been charging them lately. I can also see all documents, so quotes, invoices, orders, returns, all in a single screen, exactly where they're at in the workflow as well, or where they have been. So nice cross-section there with our other order management platform. And then here we've got archived documents as well, and then contacts, addresses, more of that Business Central data exposed here so that we can do our jobs effectively. You'll be seeing us add quite a bit more here in the terms of CRM, so a lot more note-taking, interactions, supporting those concepts, and making those a whole lot more usable than they are kind of natively in Business Central. But still taking advantage of that data, so we have that single source of truth and not doing that separation of our CRM processes. I'm going to take a look here. There's another part of the CRM module is our order entry engine, so I'm going to open one up here. So this is our order entry screen. So we get to see, at the top right away, here's the workflow step that it's in. This one's in picking. Again, here at the top, I can open this in Business Central if I need to, go over there, or I can submit it in workflow if I'm done working on it. But the screen itself is really designed for a number of users. So we have the ability to do approvals here as a manager, so I can review it. So if I want to do that, I can lock the top here to make sure that this never scrolls away. If I'm more of an order entry user where I've just filled this out, I can actually roll this up, and then I just have the line items view, so I have more space to operate over here. And again, just to sort of that speed element, everything is in simple hotkeys, so I can just click, start to add a new line right here, add that onto the order, and just really easy, accessible information. So that's most of what I want to talk about on the CRM side. Like I said, this is an area we'll be adding. We've got an aggressive roadmap to add a lot more of that task management, notes, all that information to the customer card. The next thing that I want to talk about is our Analytics Cloud platform. So our Analytics Cloud platform, I'm going to show you today, is our process performance module, which is what we launched with. So we start in our home screen. On the left here, we've got access to our workflows. We can see the different workflows we have set up, the dollar totals that are in each. We can see our customers, largest customers across different time slices, products, same thing. Some insights over here about the data that you can see here, and a little bit about our team members. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about our process performance SKU. This is the SKU that we launched with. Click over here. This is our trend monitor. So our trend monitor is really about diagnosing at the highest level. So we can see here are some key KPIs about our process. We can quickly see areas that might need some attention. We can drill into those, get some more information. Really just a good starting point into analyzing our process and seeing how well it's actually performing. From there, we can go on into our real-time dashboard. So we can look at a given process. I'm in standard order here. And we can see we have our Now dashboard. So this is giving us a great view of our process. So if you remember the mission control screen, we had a great point-in-time view of our process. But here what we get is additional elements of time. So we can see, we have 23 orders in procurement. I could see that in mission control. But now I can see, is that normal? So I can see, I've got 6 orders here that are going faster than average. I've got some that are going slower, some that are going much slower. I can actually click in there and analyze it deeper. So I can quickly filter, look at stuff that's been in here for more than 12 hours. I can see here I've got a large order that's been waiting for a while. It's an Amazon order. It's probably a problem. So I can click on this, which will actually take me to it in the software. So take me to it back in Distribution Cloud. Or I could put in alerts. So instead of just passively reaching out, reacting, I can start to put in some active guardrails that'll control for some of this workload. So I can look at it and say, for Amazon orders, if they wait for more than an hour, I want to go alert somebody to go work on that. And I can set up different levels for different customer classes. So, mom and pop distribution, I could set maybe it's 4 hours, but for Amazon or any of my big retail customers, I probably want that to be much, much tighter. So we can start to even put a little bit of an SLA into our queues by just adding more alerts in there. Head back here to the dashboard. We also have access to just some KPIs about this process. So I can see the number of orders that have gone through this process today, the margin on those orders. I can see some dollars per hour, total cycle time for these orders. And then just a little bit of chart about, how many orders have entered the process versus how many have exited. And so we get a really good view of, what is the health of this individual process. So from the home screen and the trend monitor, I get a nice mile high view. This is really that next level of detail for somebody who's looking to manage and maximize their processes here. You can see we have a bunch of different other elements here. These aren't all filled out yet. These are additional modules that we're working on. So customer is the next major module that we'll be releasing. We'll be doing things over there like margin analysis, like customer risk analysis, white space, doing the same thing in products. So you can tell which products are your most profitable products, the cross-section of your most profitable products and most profitable customers, and really starting to head towards really deep predictive insights, things like cost to serve. ERP does a great job of the accounting of cost, but not all of the realistic allocations of costs. How much time is your team spending with this customer, both in sales and fulfillment, other areas of the organization. So being able to pull all of this rich data together to get to some of those really deep insights to, what is your actual profitability for these customers? Working that into things like price sensitivity. So there's just a lot of different areas that we're headed with this. And you'll be able to see a lot more of that as we release additional modules out throughout the rest of this year. So those are just some quick overviews of the applications. There's obviously a lot more underneath the surface, but I think that's a good intro to the applications.
Fantastic. And before we conclude, I wanted to quickly reiterate the names of our new products. So again, Distribution Cloud, providing both execution and control through our order management module as well as our CRM module, and Analytics Cloud with our process performance module. So thank you today. Really appreciate your attention and time. If you have additional questions, please visit us at cavallo.com or send us an email, info@cavallo.com, or give us a call. Thank you very much.